first one in the section. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You would run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I'm an 88 pack nigga, woof. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And this is a very interesting discussion. Because, I mean, we don't know what we don't know. But this is the latest word around the block. So it makes for interesting discussion because I want to know not only what Derrick James is doing moving forward, but I want to know what Errol is going to do moving forward. And again, let me be very clear. The title is Errol Spence and Derrick James separate? Meaning there's a question mark. I don't know if this is true. But we're going to talk about coaching. We're going to talk about coaching today. And, you know, what does this mean? How did we get here? And we're just going to talk about what we've seen in plain sight for a while now. Now, I need y'all to understand, in this conversation, you might hear some things depending on who you are as a fan or a fanatic. Y'all know I don't like to use that term fan because it's short for fanatic. But we're going to have an honest conversation. And we might be seeing, and this is just us talking, we're having an honest conversation. We might be seeing part of the reasons why Errol and didn't look good in his last outing. Why Frank Martin didn't look superior in his last outing, although he won. And this has always been a topic of concern. Now understand, concern, not hatred. We want to know what's going on. You understand what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Before I go any further, I'm going to put up this poll. Let's do this. Why do you think Errol left Derrick? Now, mind you, y'all, I don't know. Let me pin this. Wait a minute. Pin it. Now, I don't know. You know what? Let's do this. Stormy, what's good?
You would catch me while I got my mouth full of donuts, but anyway.
Man. And salute to y'all. I ain't do the roll call, man, but salute to y'all. This is it's a real topic because we don't know what the hell's going on. But from what I heard, the brother Blue put that question up, and Errol liked when he said, "Yo, okay, they separated," and Errol liked the comment, meaning that there must be some truth to it. So we don't know what happened. We don't know if it was bad blood. We don't know if it's just a peaceful separation. We don't know. But I'm not on that, whether it was bad blood, whether it was peaceful. I want to know, what do you guys think the reason was? Now, should I make that a multiple choice question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so let's do that. What are the choices we should ask the audience?
He feels he ran his limit in learning. That could be one. He feels that their relationship as far as coach and boxer has grown stale. he could put the notion that James's focus isn't where it needs to be, or other fighters have interfered with what was once good. Now you can put that all, shorten it how you like, but yeah.
Okay. You know what? I should do that as a poll.
Yeah, that's what I said. Put it as a poll.
Do that as a poll
with multiple choice answers. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. At the end of the day, out of those selections, there's no wrong answer.
All right, so let's go through it. We have 3 options. What's the first one?
They run their limit being together. They run their limit.
Relationship run its course.
Yep. He's learned what he can learn from Derrick.
Limit in learning. Okay.
And then you could say other fighters have taken away from the culture. And what I mean by that, because you could abbreviate it like that, other fighters have taken from the culture. What that simply means is that they had a winning formula that they were known for. But in the past couple of years, they've brought in guys who are not winners.
So we could say gym culture.
Gym culture, yeah.
Okay.
Because that was his thing. He was known for having success out of his gym. Because remember, he pretty much runs a one-man operation, right? And out of what he was doing, he gained great deal of success.
So other fighters,
he had an undisputed champion in Mel Charlo. He had a unified champion with 3 titles with Spence, and with Frank Martin, he had a prospect becoming a contender who could be very well on the cusp of challenging for a championship title himself within a couple of fights. And this is all like you just go back 2 years ago when he was receiving the accolades of being one of the sport's best coaches and whatnot.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So let's get rid of that.
Salute to No Smoke TV out there. He put a great video edit up today that featured our interview with Razor Ruddock, and salute to the brother. He did a damn good job. I sent it to you if you haven't watched it.
Yeah. I've had a hell of a day, and it's still not over.
But he did a hell of a job on that video edit, and he does good work anyway. So
yeah, he does.
No Smoke TV, man. We appreciate you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing. And I really enjoyed that. A+ from Stormy.
A+, yeah, stamp that. So let's get into it, because let me just go out and say, because there's some super fanatics out here. This isn't a show about hating on Errol or hating on James. We've been asking these questions about what's going on in that circle for about a good, how long, Sony? Like about a good 2 years now? Like we was kind of like confused, like what? Okay, like for instance, when James decided to work with AJ, I was a little confused.
Dude, do you remember my response to
Yeah,
that?
I do. We'll talk about that. Talk about that. Why it didn't make sense much. It was kind of like, what?
First of all, it's like the equivalent of you raising girls, right? And all of a sudden, you got a relative that something happens and they say, can, Keisha come and stay with y'all for a little while I take care of some business.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Keisha is for the streets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you really prefer that Keisha don't come and stay in your house because your girls are raised a certain kind of way that Keisha's mom and parents may not have had your same philosophies.
Right.
Now, that temporary thing, you would have to get a demand on and note of how long is that duration going to be.
Right.
Because Keisha's influence on your girls are going to have such a negative impact that it can't be long. It can't be long.
Right.
It's got to be very short. Otherwise, she got to go somewhere else.
Right.
She's in that short term with you, and if it ain't over for what's going on, she got to go somewhere else. She got to. That's AJ coming into Derrick James's gym a few years ago when he got Coach of the Year and being acknowledged for being the type of coach that he was having the success of being. I still was a little hesitant to give him certain types of accolades and fare because there were some things that I was seeing about how he communicated with people, talking about his fighters and stuff like that. His particular take on the sport of boxing, like he had given the impression that he didn't watch it a lot and stuff like that. And
these are things that he said though. He said that. He said he doesn't watch, yeah.
Yeah, but my thing is this. You got to have an ear to the ground to be able to deal with what comes across your plate. Mm-hmm. And seeing that he had a couple of different fighters in a couple of different weight classes, all of that was a premium. Now, AJ coming there, when he took on AJ, what AJ has shown us is this. First, a disloyal type of a disposition with how he did with his original coach that got him to where he was.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he lost a fight didn't mean it was the coach's fault.
Right.
It didn't. When you lose a fight, to blame the coach and go external, that's an excuse to move forward and do certain things. But if you ask me, I don't know the man's business, but understand that after that coach got moved away, Ed Hearn's control over AJ got stronger, didn't it?
It sure did.
Yeah.
Sure
lifetime contracts and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So where I'm going with what I'm saying, to not take you guys long around the block, is that the disloyal element, the denial element that, I wasn't the one that messed up. The fact that there's no notion of trying to get better or improve, but simply do this for me, get this done for me. Remember how he went to different gyms in America and he was testing gyms out like he was test driving cars?
Yep.
Who does that?
He does, apparently.
Dude, let me tell you something. That was a huge flag for any coach that would have considered maybe thinking about it. But when Derrick James accepted him after that, I lost a lot of respect for Derrick James.
Now let me add to what you're saying right there. The first pit stop he made was with Ronnie Shields. We saw pictures of that. That's going on 2 years ago now. When he first went there and stopped there for a minute, I said, that's not bad. Had he had stayed there, that's not bad. But it ended up with Robert Garcia. And I was like, huh? Because Robert Garcia, to my knowledge, and I don't know, maybe there's something I don't know. I'm not above being corrected here. I don't know. Outside of his brother, Mikey, I don't recall him working with a heavyweight. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know in the chat.
I think he went over to Reynoso too.
He did go to Reynoso for a brief moment, but then he ended
up. He had that no boxing, no life hat that Canelo wears in their camp and stuff.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So he was over there. Funny, Frankie Sanchez was over there. That's probably why I'm gonna have to spar this guy. No, thank you. I don't know.
Not only that, Canelo was there, and Canelo probably told Reynoso.
Thank you. Just like he did that to who? Just like he did
Ryan
that to
Garcia.
Who? Ryan Garcia. Exactly. He said, this kid, What we're saying is, all right, Don Shotter, send it to me. What I'm saying is, first and foremost, again, for those of you just pulling up, we don't know. This is all speculation. We're just going off of what we've seen over the last 2 years or so. And we're just trying to, this is just a conversation, y'all. We're not saying it's Derrick James' fault. We're not saying that it's Errol's fault. We're going to talk about it all. We're not blaming. Maybe, that's what I'm saying. Maybe, and you see the post, you see the poll. Maybe the relationship just ran its course. Maybe. We don't know. I saw one of the brothers say, Errol was in the streets. We don't know. We know, and see, that's another thing. It could be Derrick was like, yo, it's run its course because the young man don't listen to me now. And maybe the Bud fight went the way it went because he wasn't listening to me out of the ring. I don't care how he looks physically. Okay, Muhammad Ali physically to the naked eye looked great when he fought Spence in 1980. But what did we know about him? He was way past his prime.
Yeah, okay. But you know what? There's something about that I kind of disagree on that, and I'll tell you why. Derrick James was very dismissive of Terrence Crawford himself.
True.
And to a man, if I'm going into a fight of that magnitude with what was on the line, with my guy and that guy, I'm respecting what that guy is bringing to the table because there's a number of fighters that avoided him. There's a number of reasons why Mr. Heyman didn't want to make the fight. There's a number of issues that you could lay out on the table to say what a win over a loss would mean going forward.
Stormy, let me interject real quick. Do you think Heyman is sitting back after the dust settled? Do you think Heyman is sitting back saying, I told you not to do this? Did you think he's doing it?
I do believe that Heyman may have had some conversation, but what that could be, I can't speculate on that because we still hold him to the fact that he sent Prince Charles Martin over to fight AJ instead of fighting Deontay.
Yeah.
Even though you're supposed to be a so-called advisor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hearn threw a bag of money at Martin that Heyman may not have been willing to do. Mm-hmm. But it's all now out in the open. They done pulled their dress up and showed their panties. How many dollars did Heyman throw at Canelo?
200. Well, not 200. He might do that still.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. The value. They see more value. Mm-hmm.
He could have did it. And those belts would have stayed at home in the PBC.
Yeah. You're right.
So there's no telling what he may have said behind the scenes, but I'm sure he said something.
Yeah.
But see, we got the receipts on this other stuff. That's why nobody gets away. Huh? Mm-hmm. Everybody's ass, excuse the impression, is on the hook.
Yeah.
Everybody's. But when DJ did not give credit to the caliber of challenge that they had in Crawford, he was very dismissive. He provided bulletin board material. He said something about the man, mama, don't bring her dancing shoes on that night and all of that. I'm like, you know what? You know that Homer Simpson gif of him disappearing in the bushes? That's what I felt when I saw that, when I was watching that All Access. I was like, did you actually sit up there and say that? I said, you guys don't really recognize who you're dealing with Terrence Crawford. Because Terrence Crawford is like a very skilled fighter, and he's a street dude at the same time.
And we spoke about this before. He's fighting with a lifetime chip on his shoulder.
Usually that doesn't go together. You could be one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But you tell me, just like when people say a compliment on Roy Jones Jr., right? That he was one of the most athletic, skilled fighters of his generation, even that we've seen in the history of the sport. So you give him this credit for being something that is like, it's a rare thing, right? Well, Bud had that rare thing applied to him, that he's a damn good fighter, but he's a street dude too. And you're not going to acknowledge either one of these, that both are serious. One comes into play in the ring, but the other one comes into play with his preparation for you, because you dissing him.
Stormy, you're not going to believe what the fuck I'm reading right now. Don Shada, I'm not going to say this on air. No, Stormy, I got to send this to you on Instagram because I don't know. I'm not at liberty to say certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, my fucking goodness, man. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Let me forward this to you. I'm forwarding it to you right now.
Okay.
Don Shada just sent this to me on it all fucking makes sense, bro. Don Shada, I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say this on air, but I'll take your word for it, bro. I'll take your word for it, bro. Jesus fucking man. I knew there was something stupid, man. Because listen, y'all. First and foremost, to the Bud fans, I need you to listen and comprehend. A lot of these super fans, the Tank fans, the all y'all fans, these fighters have these some of you fighters have weird fan bases. I will, Mr. Shelton. But let me say this, man. I'm speaking from a place of just I'm on the level with this because I don't know what's going on.
But see, check this out. I'm going to tell you something. It's just like with our show with Razor last week.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Razor any more than you guys did.
True story.
But I have experience. I keep saying this, and I'm not trying to toot a horn or anything, but I've worked with fighters in the gym. I have a coach's mindset when I talk boxing. I don't talk boxing from the perspective of a person that's observing the sport like a fan or something.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I can get up and go work a corner tonight. What you just sent me and what was said here, did I not just lay that out?
You sure did.
You see, because first of all, if James had treated Crawford like a threat, his charge would have done the same.
Let me say this.
But they never treated him like a threat. You remember years ago when they met in that hallway and Errol had that red shirt on and Bud had the black one on and the skull cap, and they was talking about what they were going to do to each other and this and that, whatever. At that time, I said, Spence don't know who he talking to. And it's funny because you have to be from a certain kind of background to pick up that vibe. I ain't talking about these dudes of today, because these dudes of today didn't come up like I came up. They didn't come up with and like you came up. They didn't come up with those type of experiences because life is different now. You know, guys want to go and pull out something, a weapon or something.
Yes.
They don't know how to go head up with these. You know, these guys, you slap one guy in the face today and they looking around. Didn't you see that from Maul Charlo? He got slapped in the face.
Sure
but what did he do? And then when Hurd slapped one of them in the face, what did they do?
It was right there in front of us.
Yeah.
It was right there in front of us.
This is what I'm saying. But Bud Crawford, he's of that ilk of what we're talking about, bro.
He stays in the gym.
Type of thing. Now, understand this about Spence, too. I don't know him either. But I know he hasn't come up like those guys that come up like the Crawfords and some of the other guys, maybe the Javante Davises and stuff like that, right? But he come up from a well-to-do family backdrop and everything. That doesn't mean he can't fight.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is it's a different psychology.
Bud has a throwback mentality, man.
As a coach and trainer, you're supposed to be able to recognize these things and identify them, which is why he should have been able to recognize you don't take Anthony Joshua into your gym.
And that's
let him pass you up. You don't take Ryan Garcia into your gym. You pass him up. Mm-hmm. As talented as Riddick Bowe was, Rock Newman and the people that were promoting and managing Bowe had to beg Eddie Futch several times over. They came to him, they went somewhere else, they come back. It's like he never said yes right away. Mm-hmm. It was a while. And the very reasons that he said no in the beginning became the reasons why Bowe didn't realize his full potential.
There you go.
And that comes from recognition. You ain't got to put it out there to the public. But what did I give you with the example of the girls and then Keisha coming to stay? What did I say?
They bring down the integrity of the whole goddamn camp. You can't let everybody in there, man. You ever heard?
This is why I say these things the way I say them. See, people be listening and they say, oh, who this guy think he... Listen, I've never lied to you guys. If you want to test it, test it.
Stormy.
The only thing that you're going to get from it is enlightenment.
What is the oldest saying that we all know? One bad apple ruins the bunch. And it is unfortunate. Now, this is all speculation. We don't know what it is. But we have a lot of things that we've seen over the last 24 months. And everything is okay till it's not okay. And the big one that made us scratch our heads was when Errol fought Bud. No one knew it was going to be a wash like that. And I picked Errol based off of Errol's previous work ethic. I thought we was getting that Errol. But I'm telling you guys, I was there. They put the cameras in the back. When he got out the I think he was in an SUV. When he got out, we're looking at the big old Titantron, whatever the fuck it is, and we're watching. Everyone starts clapping, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, why the fuck Errol look like he woke up from a nap? And I said, uh-oh. And my boy Joey was like, uh-oh, what? I said, nothing. And I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, Errol got like a sleepy look naturally, but I said,
oh, let's put it like this. He looked like he was high.
Yeah. He looked
like he was high. Now, we know he's had trouble with substances, right? We know this.
Yeah.
But in the biggest fight of your life, the biggest night in boxing, you disrespect your trade, your job.
Allegedly, because we don't know, but I'm saying I know what I was confused.
Being compromised. Listen, man, you know what's wrong with us today? We don't want to tell the truth no more. Alternative facts have matriculated themselves over into the culture of Americans. When somebody is walking around with a dress on and a beard thicker than mine, hair longer than yours, and he says, refer to me as ma'am.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't say, you a dude, and not get canceled. You don't see something wrong with that?
It's all wrong.
And remind, this is on the surface of what we're talking about.
You know. Hey, wait, hold on. Let me address the brother TBI. Listen, I never did a video saying that he was high or not. I'm saying we don't know. I'm saying I was there. And when I saw him, when he got out the vehicle, I know what I saw. And I don't know. I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying it didn't look right. It didn't look right to me. And I didn't say anything. When I sat there, I didn't say anything. What I do know is it was so one-sided that even Omaha that was there, they said, we'll take the win, but goddamn, we didn't know it was going to be that easy. It didn't look, and then I heard about the rib injury. I heard all of that. I heard that on fight night from people talking. I was like, what the fuck is going on? If your ribs is injured.
See, this is the worst part of all of that. Last week we talked to Razor, and I said to you before he came on, I said, if ego doesn't get in the way and he allows himself to be practical and sincere, those things that I put out there, because remember, I'm in the gym working with people, not Razor Ruddock, but other people. And I've seen things. I've seen guys come in compromised. Let's just put it that way. And I tell them, hey, you're not doing certain things today. You could exercise or whatever, but you ain't sparring. You ain't, oh man, you tripping. We'll get out.
Let me point this out. Let me get to this.
Hold on, let me say, I just want to finish and say this. But we wouldn't be going through this damn round robin if Spence would be a man and be sincere for once and take accountability, because he still hasn't done that.
And all we're saying is, as much as we don't want to assume the worst, we're looking at the track record. The biggest track record. First of all, he's lucky to be alive. Y'all remember the car accident? And we didn't know what happened until after the hospital. And then they said, yo, we understand that you almost lost your life, but yo, we just blood tested you or alcohol. Said, yo, bro, you was drunk, bro. You was drunk, so we got to do what the Lord does. You understand? He almost killed himself, y'all. So if that's not evidence that there was some issues there, it is what it is. And let me tell you something. We love Errol, man. We didn't want to see him go out like that. You know what I'm saying? But he got in there. Now, let me watch for the hook says, do painkillers for broken ribs have a high effect? Let me tell you this. I have a CDL. All right? I drive a bus. Y'all know that. If I'm on painkillers and the job knows, they cannot let me get behind the wheel.
That's right.
They can't. They can't. There's rules. Who's a truck driver in here? Our brother Eric Jordan. He could tell you. And he drives an 18-wheeler. Salute to him.
Because
when
it's an impairment on your system.
You might not know it.
Feel good.
Yeah, you might not know it.
Time, all of that stuff is compromised.
Shower, she's a CDL holder. You might not know it. You might be walking around, hey, I feel fine, the pain is reduced, whatever, but you cannot get behind if you're on painkillers and they leave in you're in the hospital, they won't let you leave until someone come get you. They won't put you in a cab. They'll arrange an ambulance to drive you back home. But if you drove there, they'll leave your car there, because we can't let you drive when you're on, what Tylenol 19, whatever the fuck they give you. You can't do it. So I heard, I can't deny or confirm. I heard he had a rib injury, and then that's why he had that look on his face when he got out the vehicle, because he had broken ribs. And bro, if you had broken ribs, I had no problem with him postponing the fight until he got well. Fury did that shit to us twice. You understand? But he went in there thinking, hey, man, I'm just naturally bigger than this guy. And what we're saying is poor work output reflects leadership. And nowadays, it's hard to decipher who's the leader in the camp. Is it the fighter or the trainer? In my opinion, I come from an era where if I'm paying Stormy to do a job, his job is to direct me to a win. I have the talent, but my talent means nothing if I'm not coached properly. Which is why in every other sport, when a fucking team goes on a losing streak, that means they're not responding to the coach. So what do? The front office removes a coach. You understand? Poor work output reflects leadership. So I don't know what happened to Errol. Maybe it's run its course. Maybe Derrick was saying, yo, this guy's not listening. And now he went in there with Bud and, maybe he didn't listen. Or maybe as a joint system, they didn't respect Bud. And we saw the results. And everybody knows, man, that's Errol in there like this? If there was something wrong, if I'm fucked up and I have a rib injury and I'm just saying, yo, Stormy, man, I got this guy. And Stormy says, no, you don't. And furthermore, 2 months to this fight, I'm telling you, postpone it or stop. If you don't do it, I'm walking away. Because I'm not going to be there. Do y'all remember Rocky 3? When he told Rocky, if you're going to fight this guy, I'm not in your corner. And he was like, what? This is like any other fight. He said, no, it's not. This guy's a killer. But he compromised his integrity. And see, there's a lot of gems. I mean, the fighting choreography, we can look past that. Sylvester Stallone put a lot of gems in those movies. And Rocky 3 was about the trainer compromising his integrity because of his love and personal relationship with Rocky. And when he went there with Clubber Lang, he got his ass kicked. He didn't listen. He didn't take the training seriously, although he looked great. And he didn't take Clubber Lang seriously. He got fucked off. And when he buckled down, he had the talent, but he had to get some new coaching. Listen carefully, y'all. He had to get some new coaching, which is why Apollo Creed came in, salute to Carl Weathers, and had to change some things. So that's why we're looking at the poll. Has the relationship run its course? Has Derrick James taken Errol as far as he can take him? Does Errol Spence need another look? Was he listening to Derrick? Was Derrick listening to him? Were they both just dismissive of Bud? Because it's gotten so bad, we don't even know if he's going to fight Bud at 154. We don't know. We're just trying to brainstorm and figure out what happened. We're just trying to figure out what happened. So we're not like shitting on anybody. We're just trying to figure stuff out. And y'all are entitled to your opinion. We're not crashing out on anybody. We're just trying to figure out. Let me go to our brother Watch for the Hook back in that super chat salute. He said, Drew, I was at the fight and I saw Errol jumbo screen and said the same thing. 20 mil on the line. He already missed the Pacquiao payday. I understand. And then there's that. And then speaking of eye injuries, he automatically had the automatic Bud rematch and then wait till the date gets a little close and decides to get eye surgery. I was confused as to what that was about. Now, it's man down over here. But when have y'all heard me not hold the fighter that I support accountable? Did y'all understand that with the eye surgery so close to the date? Did y'all understand? I didn't understand it.
Let me pose a question since we got Conor Loco out there. Salute to the brother Conor Loco. I got a question for Conor Loco because he would be able to answer this. When it comes down to these big fights with the top fighters, the elite fighters, in a situation like Spence versus Crawford, as long as they make that first bell, that check is cashed, right?
Oof.
See, because then that'll explain a lot. Because,
man,
you don't know. Your boy might have been thinking like, all I got to do is get to this first round and I'm paid in the shade. Because it was more money than either man was going to make in their careers at that time.
See that?
So busted ribs, being high, all of that. Being high, which is alleging. I'm not saying he was, but he sure looked like it, didn't he? Yeah. Tell me, you line up a bunch of guys who are blunted out, huh? Or if that's a term, I don't know because I don't do this stuff. But you line them up. They all got the same damn glazed over look. Mm-hmm. Some can hold it a little better than others. And some just, when they get a little hit of it, they just lose themselves because that's what they like. You understand? Yeah. So you know what the look looks like. And then if you factor in that he took some painkillers, there could be a number of things. But like I said, it would require he to be accountable and stop making people guess and tell them the real truth and facts. Because listen, we're all human beings. Don't leave things just hanging. I hate that kind of crap because it's for speculation and everything. That's just because you don't want to be accountable.
And we speculate the worst.
It's so damn hard to say, I messed up. Will you forgive me? Let me come back and be better. But just to keep on going around and just leaving piles of doo-doo everywhere you go because you don't want to say it was me. I had diarrhea. Come on.
And we assume the worst because it's Errol, because he's had struggles. Now we know about the alcohol and all the other stuff. I don't know, but everyone's assuming the worst. And what it left the people that support him in a hard spot because I picked Errol to win that fight, but I was basing it off of, when Errol was with Blu-ray and everything. Bro, there's so much shit that I'm not at liberty to speak on, y'all. It's just weird, man. And when it's left for us to speculate, between us just speculating what little we do know and the people that just can't stand Errol by way of Bud, you get the worst of the worst. I can ignore that. I know when it's hatred. But coming from a person who supports the sport, I never hated Bud. I didn't like his business moves. That's all that was. You never heard me say Bud was trash. I always said he was his biggest challenge. But I thought Errol would win by stoppage. But on fight night, when I looked up, I said, what the fuck is wrong with him? And my boy was like, yo, what's going on? I said, nothing. And I said, in my mind, I'm like, oh shit, say it ain't so. Then they show him warming up. Bud is actually focused, warming up, hitting pads. And they go back to Errol. He's just stretching out, very nonchalant. I'm like, oh no. And it's like I knew it, man. He comes out with that brother Big X the plug. Bud comes out with Eminem. He was laser focused. And it's like Errol tried to wake up after the knockdown. The knockdown was just a flash. But then I'm like, it got progressively worse. And I'm like, hey, here it come. Here it come. And like I said, I was surrounded by cats from Omaha. And everybody was confused. Because they thought it was going to be more difficult. We really thought we was going to get Leonard Hearns, the second fight? Where everything was a toss-up until Sugar had to turn it up on him and got the stoppage. We thought it was going to be like that from somebody, but it was easy. And now, while we're trying to figure out, again, I didn't cap for Errol. I put out a short video while I was in Vegas, and I did a live that Sunday. And I said, yo, you got to tip your hat to Bud. He got in there and did what he had to do. But everyone was like, yo, he didn't look right. I understand that. But that's up to Errol to come forth and say, look, this was the problem. If y'all want to say it's an excuse, but everyone's asking, this is for the people that want to know. Had broken ribs, or I was on a painkiller, whatever, or I flat out didn't take Bud serious. But I got him in a rematch. The rematch was a done deal. I feel better at 54. Fine, fuck it. We'll fight at 54. We just want to see the rematch now. Undisputed is done. Bud won. That's the end of it. But now we want to run it back just so he can get that get back. And then he has the eye surgery.
Look at the foolishness, the consistency in the foolishness by him. Okay, the fight is done. You lost. Why did he wait until almost like the last day of the deadline to say that he wanted to activate his rematch clause?
I'm wrong.
Who moves like that? A real warrior would have said and I'm not saying he's not a warrior, so don't try to twist up my words, but I'm saying what your intent is immediate.
Yeah.
Oh, I want this rematch right away. Let's activate it. He could still go on vacation and do whatever he gonna do, but why was that radio silence for what? How long did they give him? A month or something? And it was like almost like to the deadline that he finally came back and said, yeah, I want to activate my rematch.
Y'all want to know how bad it is, y'all? It's so bad that people resurrected these are the effects of the car accident. I said, the man done fought 2 times after the car accident and stopped quality guys. Well, he stopped Ugas, and prior to that, he fought Danny Garcia, fresh off the car accident. And I didn't like that fight for him. I said, man, this guy is flipping cars, and now he getting there with Danny Garcia, and he beat Garcia's ass. He didn't stop him. Danny's a tough dude. But Ugas, he fractured his shit. I said, okay, Errol's good. That's the Errol I thought was going to show up against Bud. That was not the time. Bud was not the guy for you to let your guard down. But like we said, poor workout, poor reflects leadership. And we're just trying to figure out, why did the relationship, I don't even know if it's sour. They might have just had a mutual agreement. Okay, I'm moving on. Or maybe Derrick said, I think you should move on. I've taken you as far as it can go. We're just brainstorming here. Watch for the hook back in that super chat. He says, I agree, Stormy. He got to talk. I would like to hear something from him, because all this speculation is making things worse. We don't know what happened. Errol Jordan in that super chat, he said, you're right about painkillers. It would put me to sleep if I was driving the Big Ridge. I would have to let it run its course before driving again. Exactly. They tell us, man, if we find out, if you on a painkiller and you get into a fender bender, you know what they do on my job? They take you out of service. They send you to get drug tested immediately. And God forbid they find something that's not supposed to be there. There's no probation. You're getting fired. You're getting fired because you could have killed somebody. You could have killed somebody, and it's in the rules. If you know you're going to be on a painkiller, you have to tell the job. And they say, all right, you can't come in. They don't give a damn. You cannot come in. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. We got love for Errol, but what is this now? What's okay? First, let's deal with Errol. Who trains him? Who would you like to see train him? And who would you like to see him get in the ring with next? Because I doubt it's Bud. Now, if Bud says I'm past the Errol Spence situation, I get it. I'm not gonna hold that on him now. When he said it in the past, I'm like, nah, bro, you can't retire until you fight this guy. You know what I mean? What's next? What's next for Errol? Who do you think should train him? And what do you think he should do next?
You're asking me?
Yeah. Your opinion. Wait, stop before you say anything. Oh, Kush, I'm gonna be very respectful because maybe you just got in here like a second ago. Maybe you should rewind to the front of the show. All right, so I'm gonna give you a chance, good brother. I'm gonna give you a chance. This isn't a big old kumbaya for Errol. Ain't nobody in here capping for Errol. We just kept it very honest for Errol. About Errol. That's something that a lot of fans cannot do. But if I fucks with you, I'm going to keep it a buck about you when I speak on you. Now, I've been very respectful about everybody else, and I've been respectful to people with different opinions in the chat. But you're coming in here firing shots. You're coming in here firing shots. If you just got here, rewind and listen to what we said. 100% we're holding we're holding Errol accountable. We're holding Derrick James accountable. What we're doing is having a conversation and brainstorming as to what happened, because we don't know. I haven't spoken to Errol, haven't spoken to Derrick James. We don't know.
That dude created an account like 3 days ago. Get rid of him.
Okay, yeah, you're gone, brother. Goodbye. You're gone. Branches, do your job. Get him out of there. All right, goodbye. Goodbye. Your account is brand new. Well, sit in the back and watch me and rub oil on your chest, whatever it is you weirdos do. All right. We're in here having an honest conversation. So let me ask you, Stormy, who would you like to see him train with? And what would you like to see him do next, if anything?
The American trainers are kind of in a particular place right now. I don't know. I know Ronnie Shields is doing a different kind of thing. He's on something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would be a good fit for him because of how Shields runs his operation.
Right.
One good look would possibly be maybe Virgil Hunter. I don't know. Maybe because Virgil is still a very capable mind. He can assess things. He can see and address things. That's very important. Another person would be Robert Garcia, because Robert Garcia and the Garcia camp is like, man, they are winning right now with the fighters that they're churning out. But it has to be someone that can command respect and be able to make assessments on surveying the landscape. Because what will, if Spence wants to resume his career, what are his goals? Because titles are out there. Another title could be won because there's so many.
Mm.
But you've had a severe, almost life-threatening situation with the car accident. You've had eye surgeries and things like that. So there needs to be an understanding of where he wants to map his career out going forward, because it may not even be worth continuing. And don't forget the inactivity. The Bud fight was a year ago. Prior to that, how long was the fight? Was the Ugas fight? It's like, think about all that time out of the ring. It becomes easier and easier to put it in the rear view. We're very critical of Keith Thurman, right?
Mm.
But Spence is doing the same thing. And it's like, when you think about it, maybe it's time to say enough. Maybe it's time. I'm not trying to put that on him, but I'm surveying from my perspective. Like I've already said, what's your end game? You want to stay around just to win another title? That's easy. Mm-hmm. There are 4 belts that could be fought for. You know, you win a title, then you retire. You win a title and want to try to go on a reign of defending the title. You know, you got to have some type of
goal,
in-game goal, just to, you know, not just be active. Because don't forget, there are young ones who are coming along, much hungrier than you, much youthful and blazing and ready to rip and roar. And don't forget this, you become food for them. Because your name on their record means something.
Yeah.
We just saw Dalton Smith this past weekend stop Jose Cepeda with a body shot. Richardson Hitchens couldn't do that. Regis Prograis couldn't do that. And this guy was 15-0.
Always one fight away from being a gatekeeper, man. We got to keep that in mind. You know, when your body started, didn't Errol say at one point his hips was hurting? Something like that? Didn't he say that? Didn't Errol say at some point his hips were hurting at one point? Didn't he say that? Or did I mishear that?
What, during the fight?
No, like during training. Didn't he say something about, where did I hear that? Did he say something about his hips hurting?
It wouldn't surprise me if anything hurt that young man, because that car accident, it could have killed him. This is why so many people were not ready to say, oh, he's back, even though he was performing and was having fights. Mm-hmm. There may be a delayed injury that will come up on the radar at some point because he was thrown from a damn vehicle. Most people die. Mm. And people say, oh, he's Superman. He ain't no damn Superman. He ain't. He's blessed. Because God said it ain't time yet. Yeah, that's all the more reason to come correct to the people.
Trying to stick around and fight it off so we can convince ourselves as to how you feel. That's the way to get hurt. And that's what I don't want. Don't stick around. If you really if it's not in you anymore, it's okay to walk away, man. Because guess why? Now listen to this, y'all. What's the matter with walking away saying, you know what? My last fight was Bud. I ain't got it in me no more. Because you lost to Bud, man. And Bud is what? He's number 1 pound for pound on a lot of people's list. And I ain't got no problem with that. When you look back and say who Errol lost to, his first loss was against Bud Crawford. Oh, okay. All right, fine. That's cool. But if it's a health thing where you're getting older now, y'all all got parents and grandparents, and some of y'all, an injury comes back that you ain't had since high school and you 50 years old. You don't even play that sport anymore. It's like, yo, man, back in the day I was wrestling 22 years ago and I hurt my knee and now it's raining and every time it rains, my fucking knee hurts. One of those situations. Now, these guys are professional athletes. You understand? They're professional athletes and they have injuries we don't know. Did y'all see Deion Sanders take off his shoe on that interview? Did y'all see his goddamn foot? I screamed. I was like, what's wrong with his foot? He gave his life to the sport, y'all. Some of y'all know pro athletes. There's shit going on in their body that you couldn't even comprehend. It's like, why is your pinky toe on the top of your goddamn foot? That's from running all those yards. Look at King Kong Ortiz's hand. He got a permanent growth on one of his hands. It's just there. That's from boxing, y'all. Sometimes you got to know when to just fold them. What's that song? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. Yo, listen, you got to know when to fold it up. And I wouldn't be mad at Errol if he says, you know what? I can't cut it. I can't cut it. I couldn't cut it, and Bud kicked my ass, and I did everything that I could. If this is what he tell us, if I did everything I could, and I just couldn't get right for the fight. I took painkillers, whatever it is. I took painkillers. I smoked some weed, and I just felt that if I felt less pain, I had enough talent to compete against Bud, and boy, was I wrong. But you know what? These injuries are not getting any better. I just got to walk away. I wouldn't have a problem with that because then we have an answer. But being that we don't have an answer, and he says, okay, I want to run it back. I feel better at 54. That's what he told us. And then when we thought we was getting a rematch, then he gets corrective eye surgery. And we're like, what's going on, man? What are we left to do? Nothing. We just left to speculate. And now the latest thing is him and Derrick James are separating. And now, people, I already see it online. Whose fault is it? And who's pointing? We don't know. But being that no one has said anything, we're left to speculate. And when you have speculation, it's never good. It's always the worst of the worst of the worst. And what we're doing here on this show, we're trying to piece things together. And we're all the way back to when, wait a minute, that camp been kind of sour when AJ showed up. He brought all this guy, he brought a bad apple mentality in there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ever knew that one person, you're having a good time, a good life, and then you look down and this person's calling you like, man, every time this motherfucker call me, it's always bad news. I'm having a great day, just got paid, I'm about to take the wife out, and I know if I answer this phone, he's going to try and bring me down with his bullshit. He never calls me up with good fucking news. And you just got to send him the voicemail. It's like, goddamn, I'm having a goddamn good day, and he want, you know what I'm saying? This is one of those situations. This is one of those situations. You have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? And then he let Ryan Garcia. We laugh when Ryan Garcia, he's in the gym with bad footwork. Frank Martin has one of his headsets, and he's really in the zone shadowing, and Ryan is running around him like a child. That's not funny. Frank is about to fight Tank Davis, biggest fight in his career. And I know I'm on Tank's bumper because of his business decision, but when did you hear me say Tank is trash? No, Tank will knock you the fuck out. It is Frank's job not to be a victim. And he's in there working, and Ryan Garcia's running around him. And I'm like, where's Derrick James telling him to get the fuck out of here? Pull the camera away, be like, yo, man, go over there and film. You and your dad, go over there and film from the gram. But I got this guy working. As a matter of fact, when he's working, you shouldn't even be in the same building as him. And when does James find time to work with Ryan and Tank at the same time? I mean, Ryan and Frank at the same time. Bro, what is happening? Now, one thing I say about Canelo, when Ryan was on his bullshit in Reynoso gym, Canelo kept it a stack. He said, man, we supposed to be in the gym at 8 in the morning. He don't show up till 12. Then he fucking hits the bag. He fills to the gram, and then he leaves. The guy don't want to be a champion. He has a lot of physical gifts. He don't want to be a goddamn champion. He don't want to be a fucking champion. And what happened? Eventually, he left the gym. And there was also a lot of shit going on in the Reynoso gym. That's another conversation. But Canelo spoke up about that shit. Canelo is the face of boxing. Ryan was in the camp with him. How do you fuck that up? Unless there was something else going on. How you fuck that up? Yeah, Canelo mentoring you and you leave? What happened? And I'm looking at what James accepted in his gym. Everything was fine when he had Mel there and Errol there and Frank Martin there. Everything got a little weird when AJ came and then Ryan came, and I'm like, why is he accepting all this work? How's he spread? Have y'all thought he's training Ryan, but the Tank fighters win? How is he splitting? How is he diversifying his time with these guys? Does he have help? What's going on? I have questions. I don't know what's going on. It's concerning, is what I'm saying. This isn't hate. It's concerning. I'm just trying to brainstorm some answers. Go ahead, Stormy.
Man, I would have turned AJ away, and not in a rude fashion. I would have told him, I would have said, hey man, listen, I run a small operation here. I run my own show. I don't have any assistants and things like that. So I got to keep what I'm doing small. Yep. And I don't have that time to invest in you because you're trying to come back from some things. And that requires a lot of time, effort, and labor and work. So it's like, that's not something that I would take lightly, but you'd serve well maybe somewhere else. And that's that. Ryan, I would not have even looked at, would not have even had a conversation with or anything. Mm-hmm. Nothing. I wouldn't have given him a damn thing. And now you can see why I say that about him, because he's showing you right now that fight isn't until a month from now. Yep. Just under a month from now. And people are still up in the air whether or not it's going to take place. And you're seeing such foolishness and effery that it's like, in a way, I don't want it to take place. I hope Arnold Barboza gets the call, because I need for there to be some sense of discipline in this sport. I need there to be a sense of being able to say no. Why does everything have to be included? This is not gumbo. It's boxing. And there seemingly is no barriers or boundaries for out of bounds. It's just like keep letting it in. We just saw a week ago, Dillian White just came back. Why? He serves no purpose in this sport, just like Jarrell Miller didn't serve any purpose in this sport aside from becoming a heavy bag in live action for Daniel Dubois. So it's like when I say these things, yeah, they can sound insulting. Yeah, it can make people mad. Yeah, if you are a supporter of the individuals that's being spoken on, that damn Stormy, I hate what he's saying. Well, you know what? Like I've been known to say, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Because this is wisdom coming out of here. This is not me blowing smoke up someone's behind. It's the smoke that's ruining your minds. You can't even think straight with all this effery going on out here. And then what's worse is you have former legendary fighters who've done it in the ring, who've been through this same walk of life and everything, and they're now on the promoter side and manager side. And they're just letting this stuff go along. Look at Oscar. Look at Bernard. It's crazy.
This is crazy stuff, man.
I wouldn't let, if I got a son, I'm like, you're not signing with those guys. You're not. Floyd, no, you're not signing with that guy. And the thing about it is, you should be able to sign with those men because they have the fire to be able to get certain things done for you. But at what cost, brothers and sisters? At what cost? Does your integrity mean anything to you? When in Rocky, what was it? Rocky 5, when he was, Tommy Morrison was in there.
Yeah.
Is that Rocky 5? When he was trying to tell Tommy Gunn, look, I'm trying to pass on to you like Mickey passed on to me. You know, the money will come later, but I'm trying to give you something of substance and this and that. And Adrian had to tell Rocky, he's not your son. You're supposed to be giving that to your son. He's a stranger, Rocky. And you're giving too much to him because he just wants to take from you because of who you were. You can't see this game. And like Drew said earlier, Sylvester Stallone put gems out there in each one of those films. Right. They're a real part of life. That's why the films resonate the way they do, because I believe with each writing, what he did was say, you know what? He sat up and said, what did I not talk about yet? And he took elements of the real aspects of boxing and sprinkled it in the film. Not to the point where it bangs you over the head, but you can always go back to each and every one of them, and they're telling a story about what fighters deal with and go through. And that's important. But like I said, if you're looking at the fight scenes and you're looking at the muscles and all of this stuff, you miss what you're supposed to get.
You miss it.
And how many times have I been known to say, everybody ain't gonna make it? Because I'm telling you things, but it's going right over your head. Because you're too busy listening to my tone, or the fact that it's me that happens to be saying it, or whatever. Or maybe you just don't have certain elements of knowledge of that, and you might have a bias against that because you question where it comes from with me. But those are your own problems, and you have to solve those, not me. But just like I said, when a person can say, I messed up, how can I make it better? Let me step forward. That's the beginning of being able to have a breakthrough, to get to another level. But if you're in denial and you're avoiding, you're just going to be like a turd in a toilet, just floating and sitting around there until somebody comes and flushes. Now, what do you really want to be in life? Think about that.
And when we don't have answers, the public who don't hate, the public that doesn't hate you, but you gotta understand, when we support you, sometimes we feel like we're left out. And some things are not meant for us to know. But this is big news, and we're concerned because we thought up until this recent news that this was a good duo that just met a little bump in the road. And now they're separating, which makes us reevaluate all the moves that Errol has done, especially in reference to the rematch. Go backwards. Now everything starts to make a little sense. Or so we think it does. Now, our brother Watch for the Hook, he said post office check or AJ check. Which I don't know is, I think that Derrick works for the post office. That's his real gig. So he has a full-time job. And he splits that with the fighters he's training. Post office check or a Ryan Garcia check. He says, I see Stormy's side, but I see Derrick's also. And I hear that.
But what side, what's his name, Watch for the Hook, what side of Derrick's do you see? Because what I see, you don't see. You understand? Because we're not looking at the same things. Remember, I already gave examples of when coaches and trainers, when they are able to recognize what's on the table that's not worth the trouble. See, if James wanted a heavyweight where he can get a big bag, then he did that. But at what cost? At what expense? Now look at his camp. Turmoil, chaos, losses. Think about that.
AJ got his wins.
And AJ is on such an upward swing now. Derrick James is like in the rearview mirror. Ben Davidson is getting all credit now, which I knew was going to happen. Yeah. I knew it was going to happen. I said it.
Let me ask y'all. Let me give you an example. Let me go to the NBA for a second. Do y'all remember when the Golden State Warriors just caught fire, seemingly out of nowhere, and they went on that championship streak a few years ago? Y'all remember that? Steph Curry and all those other brothers. Y'all remember that? And everyone's like, "Oh, this is an outstanding team," and Steve Kerr is a genius. You know what y'all don't know? Mark Jackson put that fucking team together first, and he was fired. And then they brought in Steve Kerr. But Mark Jackson got that team together, and they removed him. See that? Similar to, let's go to politics. Everything that Trump was getting credit for, Obama had put that in place. I just want to leave that there. Obama had a lot of that shit in place. Look, I know he's not perfect. I'm talking about both of them. I know they're not perfect. I'm just saying. I'm giving y'all an example. Derrick James put AJ into a direction. And now AJ's on the upward swing. What happened to Derrick James? Dave, my brother, what up? And if I miss y'all in the chat, I ain't doing no roll call, but just know that I love y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Now there's no mention of him. Now AJ's in Saudi, and now all of a sudden he has 2 knockout victories, and all of a sudden, oh no, Deontay don't want no parts of that. Now we're back to that shit again. The man hasn't changed.
And not only that, the fights in Saudi, paychecks are different than the fight that took place with Franklin.
Yep.
And James was with AJ against Franklin.
Yep.
But those Saudi dollars for a coach of his stature would have meant everything for James. But if you notice, AJ distanced himself from James before the Saudi promotion.
Mm-hmm.
He don't fool me, guys. Just like he did with his original trainer. What was his original trainer's name? Gallagher. What was that guy's name? His original trainer.
Oh shit!
If JDM is still out there, JDM may know AJ's original trainer that he fired.
I can't
before Ryan Garcia, Robert Garcia. Listen, man, McCracken. There you go. Thank you, J. Grant Jr. Robert McCracken. See, Robert McCracken was pulled out of the AJ camp, and then not long after that. And see, for those of you that may think like, oh, Stormy just saying he got something against Spence or he got something against Derrick or whatever. I've been breaking it all down. You guys are not even paying attention
for a while, bro.
The McCracken thing, I even associated and attributed the fact that McCracken, once he was no longer there, and you know McCracken is famous in the UK as a trainer, just like Ronnie Shields and the other guys are here, right?
Yep.
But he didn't get to enjoy the royalties off of AJ making the super money. And guess who does? Mr. Hearn, who got the lifetime contract with the guy. Lifetime. Can you say Drum? Did you ever see the movie Drum with Ken Norton? Maybe you ought to go check it out.
Check that movie out. Check that movie out, y'all.
Yeah, that's AJ Drum. Huh? That's a new nickname for him, for y'all. Because there's some intelligence that comes with calling someone that. No surface dwelling there. It's all of depth. And Derrick James didn't see those coins. And if AJ were man enough to ship some money to him, put it in his PayPal or Cash App or wire it to him or whatever, that would be mighty admirable. But something tells me that that ain't the character of that man.
My good brother Xavier says fighters and trainers separate all the damn time. Why is it such a problem? Well, because we have there's a fan base that are confused at this, and they back Errol so much. This is like family breaking up. It's like when your uncle and aunt, you find out they're getting a divorce. Along those lines, it's like, whoa, what the fuck happened? We just did Thanksgiving. Y'all were all right. What happened? And then you're trying to find out, okay, well, you know, so-and-so had a problem with getting to work on time and he lost his job. That explains some things. Or auntie was hanging out late at night and my cousin kind of doesn't look like everybody else. That might explain some things. So, you know, it's just a conversation. We're trying to figure out what's going on, you know. The last straw for me was I thought we was going to get Errol versus Bud, and then he got eye surgery, and it was confusing. So now we're finding out with this separation, we're now finding out that there's been a problem, like Stormy's been talking about the whole time. The whole time there's been a problem. There's been a problem the whole time. And we're just brainstorming because it's a conversation. And Errol Spence was ranked in the top pound for pound in the world now. And now with this loss and these hiccups with his health, how do you go from one, maybe two top pound for pound to losing to now we don't know what you're going to do again to, yeah, a good comeback fight you may be against Keith Thurman. It's like, what? How the mighty have fallen? So we don't know. We don't know. We're just speculating.
And not only that, let's look at it from a different perspective still. What if Errol, in everything that has transpired from him, you know, that affected him directly with his career, the loss to Bud and everything, but also watching the reception of having Joshua and Garcia in Derrick James's graces, and he knows and has witnessed from afar what has transpired, but now he gets to see it up close, and he's like, man, my guy don't need to be working with these cats. I need that time. And you know, Errol don't strike me as the kind of guy that's gonna be like, you know, but maybe he might have even made some suggestions to Derrick or something and said, hey, you know, we need to get back home team, you know, as they say, you know. And maybe Derrick was like, I got this, you know, I'm good and this and that. And the more Errol looked at it, he's probably like, and then he could see what Ryan is about and everything. And do you really want to be attributed to the coaching of someone like Ryan with yourself? Think about that, because you do harbor a certain amount of respect, right, for your accomplishments in your career. So, and don't forget, what was it, just 2 weeks ago, that shadow boxing video released to him with Frank Martin and everything?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Errol wasn't around in that video, but he might have been in the gym that day, or I'm sure he was in the gym some days when that foolishness took place. And you could see Derrick James sitting up there holding his head, looking at the guy like crazy. And then Errol is in there and it's like, why am I a part of this circus?
Could be that.
Huh? Yeah,
could be,
it's easy. It easy could be that, because how many things have I laid out that are all, just like when I asked you to do that poll, all of that could have been a part of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And what did I say if he's going to move forward and go somewhere else and do some other things. What did I say? It would behoove him for someone who can survey the landscape, who has that ability to assess, and then talk to him about what are your definite aims? What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? We can set forth a plan and work toward those goals. But it's got to be someone who has the psychology to be able to see those things, not just a rah-rah coach. Yeah, give him that left hook. Give him that. No, you don't need that. You need someone far more cerebral that can assess things. That's one of the great things about Emmanuel Stewart. A lot of you don't know this about him. Emmanuel ran the Kronk Gym. He had assistants and everything in the Kronk Gym, but it was Emmanuel's show. But a great deal of what Emmanuel was able to do with the best of whom he worked with was he took charge. He was also manager and trainer. When he took hold of Lennox's career, there was some management of Lennox's career. I don't know that he had full control over Lennox, but he had enough of a say-so that he can pick fighters that Lennox would fight. He could make the assessments of how frequent Lennox would fight and how much time that they would need to get from one point to another and things of that nature. And it worked like a charm. See, when you have that type of control, you can have those type of results because you're willing to put the time and effort in. That's why another reason that AJ looks like a dumbass for calling Lennox Lewis a clown.
Yeah.
When Lennox was offering up some advisements.
Free game.
He was trying to tell this guy something. And then here he is several years later after that and insulting Lennox, calling him a clown, that he still ended up searching and looking over into the U.S., right? But all he did was clown the people that he worked with. How about that?
Todd French in that super chat, salute to you, good brother. He said, you're absolutely correct. This is the perfect example of the paradigm. I always have a problem saying that word. The paradigm shift. I know how to say the word, but when I read it at first, I'm like, the paradigm shift. Excellent nuanced conversation. Interpersonal differences could be afoot. And what Xavier said earlier was maybe DJ probably told Errol, bro, it's time to hang it up. And Errol was like, no, fuck you. I'm going somewhere else. We don't know. I don't know. We're just brainstorming here. I don't know. I have no idea. Everything is a possibility. But when we don't hear from them, and they don't have to be disrespectful to one another, but when we don't hear it, we're left to speculation. And then you get people like ourselves when we're trying to brainstorm and figure out what happened based off of what we've seen over the last 24 months. And then you sprinkle in a little people that just don't like Errol because they're team butt and they're just trying to, the ice pick in the chest and they're adding in the negative. I could tune that out. But the point is, when you leave it up to the public to speculate, it can get goofed up, man. It can get goofed up really bad. And I just want to know what the fuck's going on. I'm gonna have to pack this up because I got something I gotta do. I actually gotta run. I'm actually behind. I got something I had a hell of a fucking day, man. Damn it. But yeah, this was a good. Let me go to the polls real quick. Let me end the poll. Oh man. What does it say? Okay. 46% of you said the relationship ran its course. That's the top one. 33% of you said fighters have compromised the culture, meaning the what was going on in the gym. And 19% of you said there was a limit in learning. We're still kind of split, but a majority of you are saying that the relationship ran its course, and that could be it, man. That could be it. I'm more of a person. I'm really curious as to what was going on as far as the culture was in the gym. I was shocked when he took on the AJ assignment, and I was even more shocked when he took on Ryan Garcia. He had a stable full of these guys, and I said, man, he was just doing fine with just Texas up in there. He was doing fine. I mean, even Jamel. I didn't even talk about that this last thing. When he went in there and laid an egg against Canelo, I was like, what is going on? What the fuck is happening there? Did James tell him, and this is where the coaching is, outside of the ring, I'm gonna tell you, getting there with this motherfucker Canelo, you better fight his ass the way I teach you how to fight him. Because if you're just there for the 10 million, I don't need to be in your corner, man.
Let me ask you this. I know we might have briefly touched on this, but I'm just going to bring it up again. On the night of the fight with Canelo, when Mel Charlo took off his robe, did you see his body?
He was dry and a little flabby. He looked like
he looked like he was in camp. That it wasn't the finished product.
Like it just started. Like camp just started.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't escape me. No. It was all wrong. The preparation, the mental approach to it, and everything. But that was about the money. That's all that was. And it's been proven because even since losing that fight, he let all the title belts go. He just let them go. So you know what that means about he and his brother? I don't have to say it, but you're looking at the reality of it.
I need y'all to pay attention. Now, with that being said, with what Jamel did, that was under Derrick James' watch. With what Errol did, that was under Derrick James' watch. Now, as a supporter of both fighters, what am I left to speculate? I'm asking y'all. Is that a fair question? Am I hating on anybody? I'm saying, what happened? What happened, man? I was in the pocket for Jamel, and look what he did. I was in the pocket with Errol, and look what happened. Then I said, okay, we're going to get it back in the rematch. Eye surgery. What's going on? I'm asking y'all. I'm a supporter. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm a supporter, y'all. So I'm just asking what happened. And now they've separated. What happened, y'all? What happened? I'm the supporter. Now, I could say we deserve some answers. They could say, fuck you, it's between us. I'm cool. But now show and prove. Now, if Errol doesn't retire, that means wherever he goes, we need to see the old Errol. We need to see the old Errol. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little concerned about the Frank Martin thing now. And if you're a Ryan Garcia fan, well.
Listen, Mo Boxing has shown up. That comment that he made there about his business. Listen, it's also good business to turn people away. And I don't know how long you've been out there, Mo Boxing, but I said earlier in this discussion, I said there is nothing wrong with saying no. Did I not say that earlier, Drew, in chat? And that no is not just about what we're specifically speaking at this moment, but being able to say no, to turn something down and turn it away, because at the end of the day, it's not of a great benefit to you. It's a detriment, but it takes wisdom to know the difference. I already gave Mo Boxing an example of that in Trainers of the Past. So I've covered my bases. Be on time and you won't miss a dime.
That's the Lord's prayer, the wisdom to know the difference. Give us the strength to change the thing we cannot change, and the strength to change that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom to know the difference. But all of this debate we have and speculation, believe it or not, it's out of love. It's out of concern. I support Errol Spence, support Derrick James. I just want to know what happened. And I want to know what happens moving forward. Understand? This isn't hatred. But when you leave it up to us, you get conversations and debates like this. So this is out of concern. This isn't hatred, y'all. So I'm going to leave it like that, man. Stormy, let them know how they can find you if they don't already know.
Stormy B Man is the channel. The Stormy B Man, all caps, but no cap.
Man, salute to y'all. Nerds on Culture tomorrow. We'll be talking about Jim Kelly, Black Samurai, and I guess I'll be talking boxing tomorrow. But this is it's getting weird. It's getting weird, y'all. Don't be surprised. You're gonna be seeing Bear Cave like 2 or 3 times a week now. This shit is getting weird. Y'all be seeing more pep talk and all that shit because okay.
They need to pay more attention to my premieres, man. That's where a lot of gems be happening.
Gems are right there, y'all. Stormy puts out premieres. Y'all don't know. He's been talking about this dysfunction for like 2 years now. And now here we are. And everyone's like, oh, nope. When we heard this news, I called him up on the phone. I said, you seen that? He said, yep. I said, see? See? You've been saying it. You've been saying it. Y'all remember Independence Day when the aliens came? And that one motherfucker, they said he was crazy. And when they came and started blowing shit up, he said, I've been saying it. He said, 10 goddamn years, I've been saying it. They done took me and shoved something up my ass, put me back on. They said I'm crazy. I told you they were coming. And now they here. You see? Minus the probe up the booty. Stormy been telling y'all, look, there's something going on.
And it ain't nothing up my booty either. So
Dude,
I'm telling you straight.
This is straight up. So I think the Queens of the Rings are up, man. Let's go over there and increase their property value. Salute to the sisters and pep talk and all that tomorrow night. And I'll see y'all in the AM, man. Much love. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Cash App, and the Super Chats. And pay attention. Boxing is at this point is the education, because if you pay attention, you can kind of see what's going to happen before it actually happens. Don't be surprised. And I'll catch you on the rebound. Bronx on deck.
Move!
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.